and brakes while we're doing springs and gas tanks. We eat chocolate muffins, chocolate chip muffin.
That's what keeps us going.
You want to work on
what it tastes like, Charlie?
We want to work on Mercedes. You're gonna need little bites for show.
Chocolate chip muffins. Wait, end that game. Alright, we're good.
You got more than me.
No, you got two. I got two.
You sure? How much was
You
in
got
there?
the one that was smushed, only 4.
Sure.
So now I'll open the bag, but only eat 2. Bring the other 2 back to me for a season, okay? Alright? If you open the bag and you don't come back with 2, we're gonna have to stare spot. Because I know there's 4. I'll just open this bag when there's 4 in there. So you better show up with 2 in the bag.
We just had to get the wideband situated. Wideband's working now. We're in 5th gear. We're doing these pulls in 5th gear, which should be the closest 1-to-1 in this car. So let's go ahead and get started and make the pull. So we got 476 wheel horsepower on this pull, as well as 483 wheel torque. Not too shabby. This car goes 11.2 with this kind of power. So we're definitely gonna put the JB4 on next and see what this car does with that. All right, so now we're gonna be installing the JB4. We're not even gonna take the car off the dyno. We got Robin getting ready to put the JB4 on. He's got the JB4 mapped out on the table. He's about to start removing some things on this car so he can get access to the connectors for the JB4. So we're definitely gonna see what this JB4 does and see what all the hype's about. All right, so in the meantime, while we got Robin putting the JB4 on this car, we also have our customer, Willie. This is his badass 991 Porsche Carrera. He's got GTS turbos, he has intakes, he's got upgraded charge pipes, probably a few other mods done to this car that I'm not naming right now. Car has an AMR performance tune. We had this car previously on the dynos making just north of 600 wheel horsepower. The car is on full E85, so he wanted to be able to monitor his ethanol content. So we went with the innovative multi-gauge that displays fuel content, fuel temperature, fuel pressure, also displays the air fuel, and it also displays the boost. So this car was getting done last week. We got our tech pretty much buttoning it up. He's gonna put the interior together. We also added the factory clock pod, so that way we can put the innovative gauge inside of the clock. So in the meantime, while he's getting that JB4 done, why don't you guys take a look at this Carrera, check it out. This car is badass. It's not your regular Carreras. Definitely give some stock 911 Turbo S's a run for their money. All right, so here we got these burger tuning intakes and gloss black, nice product. This is gonna connect to one turbo, this is gonna connect to the other turbo. Still has that factory style clamp with the O-ring seal that they did. You can see their filters, nice blue filter. We usually prefer oiled. That's what I prefer personally, but I did not order these myself, so I don't know if they're oiled or dried. They actually kind of feel pretty dry, so I'm gonna have to make sure I get the Colby and make sure he gets some oiled ones for us. Personally, I like oiled because they last longer. Dry ones, you know, when they tend to get old and they tend to come apart and get sucked up by the turbo, versus the oil ones, you kind of got less risk of that happening, in my opinion. Like I said, IMO, in my opinion, don't trust me, trust a professional. All right, so I want everybody to comment below, and I want you guys to let us know what you think we should do next to the G80 M3. What should we do? Has anybody got any ideas what we should do? Comment below, let us know what you think we should do, and maybe your comment will win, because we definitely got a lot more mods and a lot more things coming for this car. All right, so is my mic on? Mic check, 1 2 1 2. All right, we good to go. So shout out to Sean over there, walking, get the camera on him. There he goes, making sure the dyno strap's good. That's how much more horsepower this car's about to make. He had to actually like make sure it was tight. Just kidding. So shout out to Sean. He put on these intakes for us. We got the Burger tuning intakes. Happens to be the perfect color combo for the spec on our car. They look great. Let's see if they sound great and perform great, which I'm sure they will. Stay tuned. We're about to make a pull right now. Turn off the brake. Let's get going. Can't forget to port it in Sport Plus. Sport Plus would be Not sure if you guys saw that before the phone slid down, but you could definitely tell that was going to be a pretty good pull. The car actually showed on there that it hit 27 pounds, which is pretty good because before it was only hitting highs of like 24.8, 24.5. So it's possible the ECU is starting to adapt to it. We also made 555 wheel horsepower and 528 wheel torque. Again, the car does have some ethanol added to the 93, so it's about E30 right now. So we'll definitely take this car out on the street and see what it's doing, but that's pretty much it. We let it cool off for about 30-45 minutes. I think the only way we'll see some more power is if we let it sit till the morning. We're going to be taking it off the dyno now, and we'll do some draggy pulls tonight. So make sure you stay tuned to see what the results are with the draggy. All right, so that pretty much concludes everything for today. We got the JB4 installed, we got the intakes installed, we showed you what the car makes on map 0, which is essentially stock, and then what the car makes on map 5, which is the E30 28 PSI map. We also put the intakes on to show you a little bit of what the difference makes when you do take the factory air boxes off. A lot of times, believe it or not, some cars will actually lose power when you take factory air boxes off and put on aftermarket intakes. Luckily, this car was able to pick up some horsepower with the intakes. So good sign. Thanks Burger Tuning for sending us those intakes. And this is pretty much it. JB4. They checked the log that we sent them, and we ended up finding out that the firmware on the JB4 we received was an old firmware. We just did an update to the V10 firmware. We're on the MAP 5 28 PSI with E30 in the car. Now we're finally making hot 93, close to that 600 mark. We've been battling that 10-second order going 11.1, 11.07, 11.04. So we should.
That's your 10-second pass now. I mean, that's a pretty big. So stock. You said it made 480, right?
485 stock.
So that
480, 485, 490.
Man, that's
485 is the average.
100 plus horsepower.
Yeah, that's
a couple
big.
bolt-ons.
You really can't beat that with some plug and play parts.
This thing's gonna be a blast, man.
Yeah.
We gotta go take this thing for a rip.
Yeah, I can't wait. All right, so we finally got this car all figured out. We updated to the latest firmware. This car made some massive gains with the latest firmware.
It's pretty wild how much power from stock it picked up.
Bro, very impressive. Very simple. This car just has intakes, downpipes, and firmware change. So if you look here, 490 is what it made stock. Here's with the bolt-on parts and the old version firmware, 557, and then with the new latest firmware, we made 593. So I mean, that's massive from stock to the latest here, and you can just see the graph. This green graph just massively comes over the rest of the graphs with the parts of the old firmware versus stock.
Absolutely. I mean, one thing is like the peak numbers, right? Correct. But it's really wild to just see through the through the mid-range how much power it's really picking up.
Here at the mid-range at 4,000 RPM, we went from 390 to 446. That's like 56 wheel horsepower. And I mean, it pretty much carries that all the way through the RPM and even grows a little bigger here at 5,000 RPM. So I mean, this car is definitely gonna feel like a new car. It was a lot of fun when we just went for a ride, but the ride we're about to go for now should feel like a new car.
Dude, I don't know. You think this thing will hit a 10-second pass on the street?
Man, if it doesn't, I'm gonna have to call BMW and Lemon Law.
Dude, let's go make some rips in this thing.
Let's do it, man. Let's have some fun. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We put a lot of effort and a lot of work into this video for you guys. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe below. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This car is freaking phenomenal. We went 10.6 on the street, paved service, nothing but a plug-and-play JB4, intakes, downpipes, E30, very simple setup. Shout out to that racing channel as well. They took some awesome photos for us of the M3. They also did a pretty cool video. Make sure you guys go to that racing channel, check out their channel as well, so you could see a little video that they did on the M3 for us. I'm also going to go ahead and drop some of these bad photos right here in the reel right now.